Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Connected Spirit podcast. Today, we're diving into something that so many of you are experiencing right now, mediumship as a personal journey. Whether you're just beginning to sense spirit or you've been connecting for a while and want to go deeper, I want you to know you're right where you need to be. This episode is all about going through those phases that we experience on this path and how to navigate them so you can move through from confusion to clarity, from fear to trust, and from hiding your gifts to serving spirit with confidence. So let's dive into this week's episode. Let me start by saying this. I understand the doubts, the fear, and the uncertainty because I've been there. Growing up, I didn't know what to do with these experiences. I was seeing, hearing, and sensing things that no one else around me understood. I didn't realize that these were mediumship abilities. I had absolutely no clue. My family didn't know what was going on. They thought I was hearing from God. And it really left me feeling inadequate, confused, and really isolated. And at times I thought I was just really overly sensitive. And it definitely affected my feelings of self-worth and really questioning, why was I here? But when I finally stepped into my truth, I realized spirit had been guiding me all the way, my whole life. And even through some of life's hardest challenges, divorce, health scares, and everything in between, they'd always been there. And I've been where you are. And now I'm here to help others just like you navigate your mediumship journey. I've built my mediumship business by walking this path authentically, and I'm here to share with you what I've learned. So let's break this down because the journey of mediumship unfolds in 3 big phases. And within those phases, you're going to experience 3 powerful emotions: confusion and fear, acceptance, and navigating people's opinions. So let's start with looking at identifying your spiritual ability. This is often where confusion and fear come in because when you first realize you can connect to spirit, it can definitely feel really overwhelming. You start to ask yourself, is this even real? Am I imagining things? Am I going mad? Am I losing the plot? What are people going to think about me? Fear and doubt naturally show up here because of that. But here's the thing. Spirit wouldn't give you these abilities if you weren't meant to use them. So how do you navigate through that? Well, the first thing I'm going to encourage you to do is trust in your experiences. I always tell my students, spirit doesn't just show up to say hi. There's always a purpose and intention behind their being there with you. They're here with purpose, and your job as a developing medium, even a professional medium, is to lean into that trust. Trust is one of the most important things that we can learn on this journey. And it was one of the foundational principles that my mentor taught me when I started sitting in a mediumship development circle. Also, surround yourself with like-minded people who get it so you don't feel alone in this journey, in this part of your experience in this phase. And I recommend that you look at finding a community that is like-minded. So this could be an online mediumship development circle, seeking out an experienced mentor who not only teaches mediumship, but actually does the work. Okay. Then we move on to the next phase, and that's actually developing your mediumship abilities. So as you start honing your skills, you're going to come to a place of acceptance that I have these abilities. And this is where you begin to trust that you're not crazy. This is real, and it is an ability that you have that is so unique to you. There can be a lot of people that have mediumship abilities, but there will never be a medium like you, because you've had different lived experiences, and those lived experiences shape your mediumship. And as one of my great mentors has said, mediumship is a life well lived, because the spirit world is going to use your lived experiences, the stuff that you enjoy and are excited to talk about, the stuff that you're like, wow, let's just leave that on the back burner. We don't talk about that, and everything in between. The more that you practice your mediumship and you connect with the world of spirit, the more that you're going to really start to own your mediumship abilities. But this phase can also bring up a lot of old limiting beliefs or fears of not being good enough or having imposter syndrome. And so how do you navigate that? My recommendation is that you find a mentor, because you don't have to do this alone. In fact, mediumship thrives when it's developed in a safe, supportive environment. And I emphasize that, safe and supportive environment. And you can find one like that by looking for mentors that have been doing this for a number of years. take a look and see if they have any offerings where you can kind of get a sense or feel of their philosophy and their teaching background, and where are their beliefs in mediumship grounded in. Because, there's no right or wrong way to do mediumship as long as it's done ethically, but everybody has their own vibe, their own style. So you need to find somebody that aligns with you, and a good mentor will make themselves available to answer questions for you. Absolutely. And that is a beautiful connection that is so sacred. So take the time to find that type of environment for yourself. So practicing sitting in mediumship development circles, and remember, when you get into those environments with a mentor and in a supportive group, again, a circle, just honor that your connection is unique. Your abilities are unique. You're going to look and sound and act and work with spirit differently. Please don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't compare your mediumship journey to anybody else. And again, let's go back to what I was sharing earlier, is that your lived experiences shape not only you, but your mediumship. Okay. The next phase you'll move into is serving spirit and the world, working with the public. This is where you're going to step out into the world. And I won't lie, this can be one of the most challenging phases, because as soon as you start sharing your gifts publicly, you're going to come up against a lot of people's opinions. And believe me, honey, everybody's got an opinion, whether it's founded in them just being a Karen, their little keyboard warrior, or maybe they're professional mediums. Maybe they're developing mediums and they just have a different taste, a different flavor, a different view. Some people are going to be supportive. Others may not understand, and some may even criticize you. And I'm going to tell you, I still experience that today. Some people don't like evidential mediumship. Some people don't like that I promote how to grow a successful spiritual business as an ethical medium. There's a lot of people in the community that don't like that I talk about how to become abundantly paid as an ethical medium. When you talk about money, it gets heated, especially in the spiritual community. And it's actually relatively small, the spiritual community. So everybody's got their 2 cents. Everybody thinks they're right and the other person is doing it wrong. And so it can be challenging. I'm not going to lie. But here's something that you can think about that can help you navigate that. So first, get clear on your why in doing this. Your why is going to be your anchor. And it is something that I personally go back to time and time and time again when things get tough in running the business, or maybe I have a really challenging reading, or a client goes, well, that's not what I was looking for. I was wanting this person to come in and I wanted them to say this, right? It can be tough because you're showing up in this really vulnerable state because you're doing the best you can, but people have an expectation. And whenever there's expectations, you guys, things can get sticky and tough. So have that why and keep going back into it, because it'll keep you really anchored in the work that you're doing so you can keep showing up. And just remember that you're here to serve spirit. You are not here to win everyone's approval. And also, you're not going to get everyone's approval. So you do over time just begin to develop some thick skin and really lean on that support from the world of spirit as well. And ground yourself in your why. And please make sure that you're always coming from a place of love and authenticity. So for example, my work with spirit and my why is going to be different than you. And that's totally cool. You might be inspired by other people, but I promise you the work that you're doing with spirit is so unique and so authentic. You just need to figure out what that is and stay anchored into it. And just trust that the right people are going to be drawn to your work. And the ones who aren't, well, they're not your people, and that's okay. Create strong boundaries and don't let other people's opinions dim your light. I did that and it was really tough. And then I just realized I don't need everybody's approval. As long as spirit is supporting me and doing the work, then I have to be doing something right. You know what I mean? So again, keep that really strong connection anchored in your why, but also in your rapport with your spirit guides. So now let's talk about those emotional shifts that are inevitably going to happen along the way because they are so common. The first thing is confusion and fear. At first, it kind of feels like this whirlwind of confusion. Am I really connecting with spirit? Is it all in my head? And I want to validate right now and hold space for you and let you know that this is normal, but the way going through it is to trust your experiences. Start journaling. Document everything that happens. And also, I recommend dating it as well, because then you can go back and see how much progress you've actually made along the way. And every little moment, record it, every sign, every connection. And the more that you do this, the more that you're going to see there's different patterns that come up. And it's going to build your confidence, and it's going to help you lean into trust and really move away from fear. Trust is founded in love and safety. And those are higher vibrations. So as mediums, we want to really lean into that because it's going to support us in doing the work that we came here to do. The next thing is acceptance. This is where you're going to start to really integrate your mediumship abilities into everyday life. And I know that some people say mediumship isn't a lifestyle. I totally disagree with that because it's not something we do. It's something that we embody, and it becomes really an integral part of who we are. More than just connecting to the spirit, it increases our sensitivity. It changes the way we view the world. It changes the way we feel about ourselves, others, the choices that we make. How can it not change who you are? How can that not become a lifestyle? Certainly has for me. Outside of even the work that I do professionally, just my connection with spirit has absolutely changed me to my core. So when you do that, it really helps you stop questioning so much about your work, your connection, your place in the world, and you really just start accepting that, yes, you can absolutely do this. And with acceptance comes peace, and that is absolutely priceless because it also comes with responsibility. So when you have peace in the work that you're doing, you recognize that this work is really sacred and that we're dealing with people who are vulnerable. We're dealing with people who are in all different states of grief, trauma, and we have to hold space for them ethically. So you're learning that you're here for a reason. You're here to serve, to heal, to connect, to grow, to evolve. So again, going back, it's really important that you surround yourself with a community that is going to support you through this phase of your growth. Now, one of the more challenging phases that you will inevitably experience, you guys, is navigating other people's opinions. Let's be real. Let's get honest about this. There are definitely going to be opinions. It's just the way it is. Some people are going to be supportive. Others are going to challenge you. Others are going to make podcast episodes about you and chime in. By the way, I've had that happen recently. People are going to make TikTok videos and give their 2 cents and disagree with how you show up, how you are visible as a professional medium or a developing medium. People are going to give their 2 cents that you shouldn't be doing this. It's evil. What are you doing? Who are you to be a medium? Look at me. Like all of that shit you're going to see. I promise you. It's going to challenge you. It is going to trigger you. And then that's when self-awareness and boundaries become your best friends. Okay? Not everyone is going to get it, and that is totally fine. You are here to serve those who do. I'm going to repeat that. You are here to serve those who do get it. Don't waste your energy on trying to prove yourself to people, to doubters, to the ones that challenge you. Just don't. Take that same energy and then focus on the people who are drawn to your light. Okay? So if you're in any of these phases, whether you're just realizing your mediumship abilities, you're learning to trust them, or you're ready to serve the world, I want you to know that you don't have to do this alone, okay? Spirit is always guiding you, and there are communities, there are mentors, there are circles out there that want to support you, that can support you. So if you're feeling the call to dive deeper into your mediumship journey, be sure to subscribe and listen for more episodes where I'm going to break down the ins and outs of mediumship development. And if you're looking for support right now, you can visit my website, and I am here to help you every single step of the way. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and remember, you are never alone. Spirit is with you every single step of the way.